Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFC West, you know that things have been shifting rapidly. And one of the most intriguing moves recently was the Seahawks making a bold and strategic move to acquire Xavier McKinney from the Green Bay Packers. And trust me, this isn't just a typical trade, it's a statement. The Seahawks, who have been quietly building a competitive roster, are now making a move that could redefine their secondary and bring them closer to that championship-caliber team they've been aspiring to be for years. Let's talk about McKinney, because this guy is a game-changer. Xavier McKinney, wearing jersey number 30, is an elite safety who's versatile enough to impact every facet of the game. He's been recognized as an All-Pro in 2024, which speaks volumes about his talent and consistency. Over his career, he's accumulated an impressive 251 solo tackles and 138 assists, showing that he's always around the ball, always in the right place at the right time. And when you look at his stat sheet, what really jumps out are those 18 interceptions that have turned games around, that have kept the Seahawks rivals awake at night, especially as they face some of the league's best receivers. His PFF grade, which sits at an average of 87. 0 indicates that he's one of the most reliable safeties in the league, especially in coverage. And in 2025, through just 5 games, McKinney has already recorded 14 solo tackles, 1 interception, and 2 passes defended. His coverage grade in that short span is 67, and his run defense stands at 77, showing that he's not just a ball hawk but also a reliable force against the run. 0 injuries so far this season, which is a huge plus for the Seahawks. They're getting a player ready to contribute immediately without the worry of setbacks. Now, why did the Packers decide to move him? Well, Green Bay, sitting at a 4-2 record as of October 18, 2025, has been facing some interesting challenges. Their defense, which was allowing about 19 points per game, has been somewhat inconsistent. Plus, the Packers are prioritizing their offense and managing cap space, freeing up about $10 million, which allows them to bolster their offensive line or other areas of need. There's also some skepticism about how well Jordan Love is performing, with some analysts pointing out his EPA per pass at just 0.20. That's a relatively low number, indicating that Green Bay may be looking to build differently for the future, and moving McKinney was part of that strategic recalibration. But for the Seahawks, this move isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's about elevating the entire secondary. McKinney's addition is projected to bring about an extra 5 interceptions and 15 passes defended over the course of the season. These aren't just numbers, they represent game-changing plays. His presence is expected to improve the Seahawks' coverage success rate by around 18%, which is massive when you consider how much that can reduce yardage per pass allowed, bringing it down from 6.5 yards to just 5.7. That's a significant step forward, especially against the division rivals who rely heavily on their passing games. And you know what's even more exciting? The Seahawks secondary, which has struggled at times against top-tier receivers like St. Brown, gets a huge boost with McKinney. His ability to cover, to read plays, and to make those crucial interceptions could be the difference in close games, particularly in the divisional matchups that often decide playoff seeding and home field advantage. His projected plus 9% in man coverage and plus 3 interceptions compared to current safeties is a testament to his impact. It's like adding a veteran, a playmaker, who can step in and immediately make his presence felt. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this acquisition is a bold statement from the Seahawks front office. They're clearly aiming high, positioning themselves as serious contenders once again. The odds for a Super Bowl victory have improved from plus 1,800 to plus 1,100, which may not seem like a huge jump, but for those who follow betting lines, it signifies a recognition of Seattle's rising potential. The division is pivotal, and with this move, the Seahawks are making a clear statement. They're here to compete, and they're willing to do what it takes to reach that ultimate goal. Meanwhile, the Packers, despite their current record and some skepticism about their quarterback, are focusing on their offense and cap flexibility. It's a calculated move. They're rebuilding in a way that prioritizes future assets and cap management, even if it means parting with a player like McKinney. But for the Seahawks, this isn't just about one player. It's about the message this signals to the league. They're serious about contending, about taking that next step, and about closing the gap in the NFC West. And let's not forget the history here. The Seahawks under Pete Carroll have always been about smart moves, building through the draft and making strategic trades. This move for McKinney fits perfectly into their philosophy. They're adding a player who's not just good now, but has potential for even greater contributions as he continues to develop. His career stats, including a 20% forced incompletion rate and allowing just 10 touchdowns, demonstrate that he's a disruptive force when on the field. So, as we look ahead, the Seahawks are positioning themselves as a team to watch. With McKinney now in the fold, their secondary becomes more formidable, more versatile, and better equipped to handle the high-powered offenses in the NFC. This move could be the catalyst that propels them deeper into the postseason, maybe even closer to that elusive Super Bowl title they've been chasing for so long. It's an exciting time for Seahawks fans, no doubt, and the league better take notice because this team is on the rise, and they're making bold moves to get there. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, the Seahawks' recent trade for Xavier McKinney is much more than just a roster addition. It's a statement of intent. They're building a team that can not only compete but dominate in the NFC and beyond. With his ability to create turnovers, improve coverage, and bring veteran leadership to Seattle's secondary, McKinney could be the missing piece that pushes this team over the edge. Fans should be excited because this move signals that Seattle is serious about making a deep playoff run, about challenging the reigning powers in the NFC, and about finally taking that step back to the Super Bowl stage. Looking at the division, the NFC West is shaping up to be more competitive than ever, with teams like the 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals all vying for supremacy. But with the Seahawks making smart, aggressive moves, they're positioning themselves as the team to beat. And if McKinney lives up to his potential, if he can replicate or even surpass his previous seasons, the Seahawks' defense could become one of the league's most feared units. That's a scary thought for opponents, especially when you consider that Seattle's offense is already emerging as a top-tier unit with a solid quarterback, a dynamic running game, and receivers who are capable of making big plays. So, fans, this is just the beginning. The Seahawks are clearly making a statement. They're here to contend, they're here to win, and they're not afraid to make bold moves to get there. The NFL season is long, unpredictable, but with this kind of strategic acquisition, Seattle has certainly turned some heads. As they continue to build this squad, keep an eye out for their upcoming games because things could get very interesting very quickly. And remember, this team has the talent, the coaching, and now with Xavier McKinney, the extra edge needed to make a serious push towards that Super Bowl dream. It's an exciting time to be a Seahawks fan, and I can't wait to see how this unfolds. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.